Dr. Jonathan Rode, and I'm going to talk to you a little today about personal protective equipment. I am being joined today by this very cute little girl.
And Barky the Safety Dog!
Oh, hey Barky, I didn't realize you were going to drop in on us today. How's it going?
Very good.
Very good. Oh, I can see that little girl loves you very much.
Hey, little girl, can we keep some distance?
All right. So Barky he needs his space a little bit there. So we're going to talk a little bit about personal protective equipment. So personal protective equipment, you've probably heard those words a little bit recently because we've all been wearing some personal protective equipment, right?
So you mean that everybody uses masks and protective equipment every day?
Yeah, right. So this is a new kind of personal protective equipment for a lot of us, but it's going to help us stay safe. Barky, you want to try this one on?
Absolutely.
All right, let's try it. All right, let's get that. There we go, right there. They're not exactly comfortable, are they? Yeah, I agree, Barky. It's a little hard to understand people sometimes when they have their masks on. Yeah, I did not get that at all. Here, let's try it. Let's take that off and see. What'd you say?
Those masks are a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, they can be a little uncomfortable, and it's kind of hard sometimes, but it's really for the best that we wear those. And so we all use a little bit of personal protective equipment. For example, whenever kids ride bikes, they use helmets.
Bike helmets!
Bike helmets, right? So those are also personal protective equipment, right? Whose bike helmet is this?
Mine.
Oh, it's yours, little girl? Do we want to try it on? Do we want to show everybody how whenever you go out and you ride your tricycle or your bicycle or your scooter, you wear your bike helmet, right? So that keeps your noggin safe.
Nice and fit.
Right. Oh, that fits nicely. Do we want Barky to try your helmet on?
Yeah.
You think Barky will try it on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, he looks good in that helmet. Look at that. That actually fits him better than it fits you, I think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now I can run through anything.
Don't try that at home.
That did not work so well.
Yeah, you should not try that at home. Barky, let me help you out there. Now you can see again. There's some personal protective equipment that you would wear maybe at home, but also in the lab, like gloves. So if you're doing a project at home that requires paint or stain, you might wear gloves like these. And as you'll notice, there are lots of different sizes of gloves. So very small ones, very large ones. That way there are sizes that fit most hands, right?
I know what they're used for. I know what they're used for.
What's that, Barky?
They're used for your nose.
For your nose? You want to try to put this, is it like the mask? I don't think that's going to work very well. Here, actually, Barky, gloves are for your hands. So let's try that one.
Well, pause.
Pause, right, yeah, pause. Oh! Ooh. That one doesn't want to go on. Good thing there are other sizes. So let's try one of these really big ones. Those might work. Those might work better on your paws. There we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. So if you get those gloves on.
No, my hands are safe.
That's right. Your paws are safe, Barky. There you go. Right? And the nice thing about gloves, if they fit nicely, right, like these right here, then you have just as much dexterity, right? That means you can use your hands well, right? You have just as much control over your fingers as you have even if you're not wearing the gloves. So we'll actually use gloves in a chemistry lab as disposable gloves. So we'll wear them, and then if a chemical gets on our hands, then we'll just take those gloves off and throw them away, and then get new gloves, right? Because they're really not great at protecting completely, right? But they are kind of an extra barrier that keeps us safe.
They're also very tasty.
Are they tasty, Barky? I don't think we should lick the gloves. So other personal protective equipment we might use is a safety jacket, right? So this lab jacket is something that you wouldn't necessarily use a lot at home, right? So you might have clothes that you don't like getting paint or stain or something like that on, or if you're working with wood, something you don't mind tearing. But a lot of times whenever you're working in a lab, you might need to go from a lab setting to a professional setting pretty quickly, and so it's nice to have a safety coat, a lab jacket on that can protect your clothing as well as your skin. So, hey Barky, do you want to try this on? Where do you think the lab jacket would go?
I think I'll wear it as a hat.
You want to wear it as a hat?
Yes.
Okay, well let's try that. Okay.
I can't see.
Yeah, that's probably not going to work very well. Here, hey little girl, do you want to try on the lab coat? You want to try that on? See how it fits? Oh, look at that.
I put my hand through the sleeve.
You put your hands through the sleeves?
Yep.
And so then you've got a lab coat on. Look at you. Oh, now you're starting to really look like a chemist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you wear something on you.
That's how you wear something? You put your arms into the sleeves?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, that's very helpful. All right.
What about pants?
Can you wear them on your legs and pull them up?
Dogs don't wear pants.
Yeah.
Would you like to, Barky, would you like to try the jacket on?
Oh yes, I would.
Yeah, here, let's get your front paws. There we go.
How fashionable.
There you go. Oh, looking nice, looking nice.
Now you have something that keeps your fur warm.
So now I've got the gloves on my paws and the jacket on my fur.
So one kind of personal protective equipment is one that you might not think about very much, which is a hair tie. So for those of us that have long hair, so I do this, and so we'll demonstrate on little girl here. So little girl, we're gonna pull your hair up, okay? So we don't want our hair to fall into any devices we're using or any chemicals that we have, and so we pull our hair back when we're in the chemistry lab. So a hair tie is actually personal protective equipment, right? So if we tie up your hair like this, okay, kind of get it up there, get it out of the way, so that way we don't have to worry too much about your hair getting into anything dangerous.
Good thing I'm not one of those weird long-haired dogs, so I don't have to use hair ties.
Yeah, and some of those dogs you'd have to put in a lot of hair ties, right? They have a lot of hair, so you'd have to put a lot in.
It looks
right?
like porcupines.
One kind of personal protective equipment that is very particular to chemists are splash goggles, right? And so there are actually a few different kinds of goggles. These goggles have holes on the side.
What are those holes to?
So these are for ventilation, and so these aren't good for chemistry, right? So these are safety goggles that we might use around the house if we're doing, if we're cutting wood or drilling into wood, right? We might use these safety goggles, right, to be able to keep our eyes safe. Barky, do you want to try these goggles on? Where do you think they might go?
I bet they go on my ears.
On your ears?
Yes, to keep the chemicals out of my ears.
Like that?
Yes, that's exactly what they're for.
Like that? You think
Yes.
that's the way they're supposed to go?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, Barky, your eyes are much more important. So let's put the goggles on your eyes, right? So while these aren't necessarily the best goggles for chemistry, we kind of get the picture. And so for these other goggles that little girl's going to try on, right? So these goggles are vented, but they're vented indirectly, okay? And so the venting actually happens over here at the sides, and so the splashes, if there's ever a splash, it can't get into you. And so you have to vent those indirectly, and then they're going to really keep your eyes safe while you're working in the chemistry lab. All right. Thanks for coming out and visiting us. I hope you learned a little bit about safety and personal protective equipment. And so we will talk to you later.